Okay, everything seems to be up. Everything seems to be running, and yeah, yep, it looks like we're live. So welcome everybody to the Press Start Podcast, Season 2, Week number 8, and I am joined with our co-host, the one and only Atlas Onus. How you doing, dude?
Hey everybody, how's it going? So yeah, we're back. It's gonna be a shorter episode this time, I believe.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, you know,
You can
we
blame me
started
for
off
that.
with
You can blame me for the shorter episode. Things came up that probably should not have come up because it's kind of BS. But I won't get too much into details about the personal side of life. However, yeah, this is going to be a short episode, but I have to call this the divided community special because of some of the spiciness going on in the gaming world. Wouldn't you agree about that, Atlas?
yeah, I'm definitely ready for it. And for the personal side of stuff, should all games have an easy mode? And yeah, we can begin with that first article.
Yeah. So the reason this is kind of brought up is because everyone knows about the how should I say, controversial Sekiro Heroes Die Twice video game. The game is popular. It is made by From Software, and these guys have an incredible track record of a particular series they're famous for. The thing is, this game is so hard that people are asking for a potential easy mode to be implemented in. So there's been a lot of people debating, from game reviewers to gamers to people who are avid fans or casuals of it, who are debating on if this game should or shouldn't have an easy mode. Atlas, I'm gonna ask you first. What's your opinion on them potential people wanting an easy mode for Sekiro? Double tap. I sent the link out to you. I'll resend it back to you. And yep, here you go. So since you're trying to read that article, I'll start it off then. So personally, I will have to say I got a video coming up soon that I actually recorded a few days ago. Didn't upload it because of there were some issues that was going on with my audio when I was doing editing, but it's fixed. It's just I'm glad I didn't upload it yet because it gave me more time to reflect and think about what I'm about to put out there. But the long and short of it was about another divided issue going on with the gaming world that involves mostly competitive versus casuals. Same thing sounding happening right here with Sekiro. Um, Personally, I don't think there should be an easy mode when it comes to games, especially because gaming is identified as a form of art, and because it's a form of art, it means that people are able to interpret it their own way. Like when Michelangelo painted a picture of a square with a circle inside of it, some people may think like, "Oh, hey, it's a house with a ball in it," or some people may say, "Oh, hey, this shows how small life is," or "Hey, this is a math equation." Like, there's a million ways you can interpret it, versus what the artist is hoping people can perceive it. Reason I definitely don't want it in Sekiro is because one, it's a single player game, and yes, you can do your own thing in single player games. But two, From Software is known for making Dark Souls, and Dark Souls, as we all know, is famous for being such a hard game because the developers intended for it to be hard. Same for Sekiro. So I feel like making an easy mode takes away the core value of what makes the game popular amongst its fans. So that's my personal take on it right now.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. And yeah, this game is super reminiscent of Dark Souls. You're gonna have all these crazy bosses that you're gonna have to face, so it makes no
Mm-hmm.
sense to put in less effort. That's why some people are asking to put an easy mode in. And then it's also reminiscent sort of Shadow Warrior. If you've ever played that game, it's pretty good too.
Yeah, I
It's similar.
yeah I've heard about Shadow Warrior how it's chat, but it didn't let me. I had to manually go to it. Yo, what's up, Nightmare? What's up, Brown One? I can finally see y'all in the chat. So YouTube Studios being stupid, but yeah, Brown One said that yeah they don't need an easy mode. I just this is kind of like a side question today, but it just seems that when it comes to gaming, everyone is so focused on as esports is evolving, it seems like people are more and more focused on keeping things as casual as possible, which is very ironic since esports once again is becoming bigger and bigger by the day. Hell, they're talking about they may put esports in the Olympics. A place where real athletes go and compete for gold. They're trying to put video games in there, but that's perfectly fine. But oh yeah, we need to focus on casuals and people who don't want to invest time in the games as a side objective. So I don't know, like
But
you go ahead.
so definitely these. I mean, the whole concept behind these sort of games, I mean, you can, not even in just the gameplay, you can see the mechanics and how you move and how you're supposed to complete objectives in the game to level up and gain, experience and what's it called, you get armor and all these other things you have to do in order to become better, and it makes sense, right? So
Yeah,
I yeah, I would understand an easy mode being implemented into something like this.
I mean, the way I see it is, if you're arguing for easy mode for people who like have disabilities where they can't react to things like that, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, since there's 7 billion people in this world, and no matter what you put out there, there's gonna be at least one person can access it. Access it. Hell, there are some people who they had negative reactions to water, the most basic universal thing in the world, and there are people who can't even properly drink water for whatever reason. So like, I get it. Like, you're having a disability, but you want to play this game, and it's too hard for you to progress. You will feel. I feel that yes, they would be the ones to ask for easy mode, but at the same time, I know people who, let's say you wanted to play Dance Dance Revolution at an arcade and you have epilepsy. You probably won't be able to play that game because of all the flashing lights that comes with Dance Dance Revolution. So then you have to ask what the arcade people to then ask the developers to make a non-flashy version of the said game just to appease that specific group of people, as opposed to the developers leaving the game the way they intended for it to be developed. Like when we're breaking things down like that, that's when it becomes too convoluted, and then gaming becomes way too political for my own taste. But
Right, right. I understand. I mean, it's also a single. All these types of games are single player, right? So the whole point is
like
for you
single,
to make your own journey and, you know, find out ways to complete the boss fights. So it makes no sense.
I mean single versus multiplayer, I just feel like trying to take away what the game was intended to be doesn't solve anything besides push a certain agenda. Like if someone's calling for easy mode for Sekiro because they refuse to actually put the time into the game, because you get what you put in. Like if you put 8 hours into a video game, you're gonna be better than the person who plays the game once a week. It's just a given fact, whether it's esports or a single player game. And same thing goes for like a competitive game. Developers may make a game, but they never intended for it to be played the way it is. Like for example, we talk about this with Fortnite, how they made changes to Fortnite to kind of balance out the meta to allow noobs and pro players to be on slightly even playing ground. But at the end of the day, let's say, oh, they took out building in Fortnite. People find a unique way to change the meta up, because when you're playing games against physical people, doesn't matter what the developers do, people are going to find a way to make things more optimal, find out what's the best weapon, the best item, the best gear for something. So it really becomes a mute point in my eyes when it comes to it. Single players, it's a case by case basis, long short for me. But
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these become a case by case basis the more you analyze them.
yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah, on the surface it seems that way, but I mean, I could argue that for especially for games like Fortnite, um,
I mean,
it's just gonna be depending on the player. Now, there's no such thing as an easy mode, obviously, but if players demand,
I think Dr. Doy brought it up the best way on Twitter. I see that the video. I think Dr. Doy brought up the best way on Twitter, and that is, he said developers Sekiro should not have an easy mode because it destroys what the game's true mechanics are meant to be. And my response to his tweet was that I agree with him. Sekiro shouldn't have it. And if you're going to play a fighting game, whether the developers intended for the game to be a disadvantage against someone who does know them, because again, at the end of the day, the developers can't stop how people play a game. They may want to make a game where people can just go in and press any button they want to win, but if people find out, oh hey, I can string this with that, they'll do it. Same for COD or any other game. Like at the end of the day, when you got the communities involved, they're gonna set out their own meta, something the developers really can't do. They may try to balance things, they may try to ban items and things like that, but the developers can't stop the community from pushing a game forward with their own idea. But
you're definitely right about that, and it really does depend on what the people want. But at the same time, you have seen a lot of these companies add things or modify things based on the player base, and I think that makes sense. Now, in easy mode, if you're gonna go back to Sekiro, no, definitely not. If you're gonna go back to Fortnite, though, clearly, if people demand something and they find an interest to certain game mechanics, then here's Epic Games. Boom, they added this, they took away that, etc., etc.
I mean, I got a video that'll go more into detail about this. This is what I've been alluding to, but first I want to mention how Brown One brought up a good point. He said there's an adaptive controller for those who do have disabilities. He said stuff isn't made for everyone, and that's okay. Not all books are for you, and not all movies are made for you, and not all will care for it. And he's right. You know, I may like a certain game, but if I'm bad at it, either I have to put the investment into it or I just don't play it. That's how I feel it is for gaming. You put in what you get out. I mean, you get out what you put in. You know, if you play a game once a week, and then you stop playing the game for a month, and you come back to said game, and you're trying to play it at the same level as someone who's been playing every day during that time period, you can't be surprised if you don't do as well as that person. Or if you refuse to accept a certain mechanic for a game, then either you can just not play the game, or you just have to face the consequences. Like I said, if you don't want to practice a combo in a fighting game, good luck winning in a fighting game, because combos are the core value of it. If you play COD and you refuse to go crouch behind a barrier that's in the game, good luck winning a gun battle against a person who is using the environment to their advantage. If you're playing a racing game and you refuse to drift, and the map has environmental mechanics like, oh yeah, rain is gonna make your car slip and have hydroplaning. Good luck winning a race if you don't want to drift. So these mechanics are in the game for everyone to use. If someone refuses to use it, they're gonna have a bad time. Same for how right here, like there's resources out there for other people to play the game, like Sekiro. If you refuse to use it, you're gonna fail. If you refuse to put the time in, you're gonna fail. Just like anything in life. If you go into a new job, hey, you're gonna start at the bottom of the ladder. You go into a college and you switch your major. Oh hey, you're either gonna have to put more time into it to graduate on time, or you're gonna have to take more time to catch up to everyone. So that's my overall opinion about gaming as a whole. Everything isn't meant for casuals in my eyes.
Definitely not games like Dark Souls, especially. And it's made by the same people, so seeing the minimal gameplay footage of it, it
It,
looks like
it, it's a fun
very
game. I
fire.
played. I say everyone should try Dark Souls because it does change you. Like that's one of the beauties of that game. A lot of people say like it changes how you see gaming because if you play games like I don't know, let's say you play Madden and you only play Madden on rookie mode, your perception of video games are gonna be different than playing Madden on all Madden, which is the hardest difficulty. So when you play Dark Souls and it forces you to be more creative and not press the same button 3 times, then you may have a different appreciation for gaming. So I recommend that to everyone. But
Yeah, and I mean, to your earlier statement, it's just some games aren't for everyone. So
I mean that's
especially if
fine.
you sit there and grind, which is definitely something Dark Souls requires you to do.
I mean that's the
It's
thing.
not
If
going to be for those people.
I mean that's why I feel like it's all about interpretation of the art. If you want to play a game and it requires you to grind, then but you don't want to grind, then that game may not be for you. Even if you enjoy the game itself, like playing Dragon Ball
Right.
Legends, I enjoy
But here's the
Legends.
thing.
Hmm?
Here's the thing about Dark Souls. Everybody knows
Yeah,
that's what
that's the
type of
thing.
game
Everyone
it
knows
is.
Sekiro was going to be like this because it's
Cool. You can talk about it if you want to. You might want to try it out, but don't buy it if you're not gonna consistently play it.
yeah.
I don't think the same is applicable to other genres though, right? So if you have battle royale games, for instance, you play well. At least in my opinion, people play battle royale games because they want to play with their friends. Be
The OG battle royales like
in some
Minecraft
way.
and PUBG really was single player, solo oriented because battle royale usually meant you versus the world in a literal sense. Hunger Games.
And yet all these battle royales have duos, whatever they're named in the respective games. More people to get it.
Yeah, if the game is free, then yeah, they're encouraging more people to play. The thing is, like I said, no matter what, you're gonna have to deal with the players, not the developers. They have the same
Right, you're right about
ERS
that.
at the end. The thing is though, like the developers, let's just bring it up. Let's get the elephant out the room because it's something we can't get over it. The developer in the room, and the elephant in the
You're
room
the
is
one that
Epic.
brought it up.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna bring it up. That's why I want to bring up one of the
You're,
topics I had in mind. But
you're the one that brought it up in the first place.
I was talking about that no matter what, you're gonna have to deal with the people of the game. Like if you, I played Fortnite starting mid to late season 3. Shout out to you, Brown One, for getting me into the game. I'll say that playing it back then versus playing it now is a completely different animal. If you started playing Fortnite now, or you didn't play it as hardcore as you, if you haven't been grinding since season 2 or 3 when you ever people start, then you're gonna have a rude awakening because the ones who have been dedicating their time, the one who has been playing it on a more hardcore, consistent basis, they're gonna be clearly better than the people who aren't playing it on that level. If you, for example, I didn't like fighting games because I never wanted to put time into learning combos, but after enjoying fighters so much and learning that, oh hey, there's a low barrier of entry. Look at me now. I just talked about it in the Discord. I'm in the top 800 on the Xbox. I got pro players who know of me for fighters, and I'm playing other fighting games. I even got my own damn stick. Like that's the thing for people from getting a dub, and that's the fact of life.
Well, yeah, that's not what I was alluding to though. I was just saying that you don't have to be one of those hardcore people in order to enjoy a game.
Yeah, no one
It's
said that you have to. It's just that when I said that about single player versus multiplayer
all
is
right.
you can play a game and you can be very casual about it. Like for example, I play Siege. I'm not the best at Siege, but I still enjoy the game, even if I know I'm gonna get my cheeks clapped. It's that if you want to enjoy a game and win consistently, you're gonna have to invest more into it than a very casual mindset of it. You can be casual with anything, and no one's gonna stop you. That's perfectly fine. But if you are frustrated at a game because of how people play it, then you're frustrated at the community more than the actual development cycle of that game.
I don't know. In specifically to Fortnite, I wouldn't be just mad at the players though. That's from my personal experience though, because they're over here changing the limit to the amount of materials you can have. They're copying other games, and
I mean,
at the end, and then at the end of the day, you have people saying it has nothing to do
but
with the
that's a very
developers.
ignorant way to look at it because all the battle royales copied each other. Hell, Minecraft Hunger Games is attributed to being the OG battle royale, and then all the games that came out that be free. Where did they get that from? Fortnite. Oh yeah, the whole redeploy. That was arguable on who made that. The fact that Fortnite is bringing in the respawn van and they had the beakers placed in the game. Yeah, we all know they got that from Apex, but at the same time, Apex took inspiration from other games. Everyone knows that about the
Yeah,
battle royale
Apex
genre.
Apex took inspiration from its games from its own developers.
Not even that. They took inspiration from other things too. Like a big thing is for some of the battle royales, they have where you could jump down from an area and you take no fall damage, while others they have it where oh yeah, if you fall off a cliff, you don't take damage, which is very common in the real world. If you fall off a cliff, you'll be lucky if you survive. The issue is, I don't know where you're going with this per se, but the issue is that when it comes to Fortnite, yeah, they're changing things up, and the thing is, they're making changes that people never asked for. I trying to save this for my video that I was talking about, but an issue that people are bringing up is the fact that their recent update to put everything back at 9.99. Casuals and pros agreed that this was bad because, on one hand, if you're a sweaty boy, you get rewarded for being sweaty. If you're going out there getting 10 kills and you're licking your wounds after every fight, that's not fair to that person because, hey, someone can just sneak up and kill them. Now they get somewhat of a reward for being good at the game. They took that away from them. If you're someone who, I mean, which incentivizes everyone should just camp and have 30 people in the final circle if that was the case. And then you got pros on the other hand who are like, hey, I like the fact that they limited the amount of building material in the game because it's a grind. It's a pain to farm material, and if you die in the first 5 minutes, that means you wasted 5 minutes of your life just chopping trees down. So you can have developers who put stuff in and take things out because they saw fit, not because the community asked for it to be taken out.
I'm just so tired of this topic. You clearly
Yeah, because
have
I'm trying to move. I was about to move on to Borderlands 3, and you brought up the Apex side.
you picked these topics for that reason
Yeah,
though.
I
Like
picked
you
up the
wanted to bring
Sekiro
stuff
thing
up.
because the Sekiro part was
So
about an easy mode. I didn't. I that Fortnite thing I just mentioned to you.
that's
I purposely didn't bring that up. It's its own article.
okay. Yeah, you
Chat,
alluded to that.
chat.
Do this.
Chat.
You can go back. You literally after you mentioned Sekiro, you literally said
Yeah, I mentioned Fortnite. I mentioned
just
fighting games. I mentioned COD. I didn't mention Fortnite just to single that out.
and yet here we are talking about
Yeah,
it.
because you're bringing it back up. Chat, you hear this. People watching after the fact. Comment down below who's dragging it on.
All right,
Let's move on to the next
whatever.
topic. Jesus Christ. Okay,
I
Borderlands
mean,
3. This is an article by Kotaku, so take it with a grain of
I'm
salt,
not
but
the one that chooses the articles, everybody. Just so you know,
because someone didn't want to bring any articles to the table. But this one is by
I
Kotaku.
asked you
No, you
multiple
didn't.
times.
No, you
Yes,
didn't.
I did. I asked you. I'll take screenshots of our chat and I'll post it in here.
I'm looking at the chat right now. God damn.
Dude, you're such a liar, dude.
I'm not lying. I'm looking at it right
All right,
now. I sent
peace
three.
out, everybody.
I sent three to you. Said, "Oh wow, he actually just left." Okay, how about this? Let me pull this up. I took 3 screenshots. I'm in class right now. I'll be home after 1. I'm home when are we starting. He never mentions anything about bringing up articles. Actually, yeah, I'm about to screenshot this and let's just put it up there. Screw it. Yep, this is the weirdest episode ever. Where is it? 2019. Today's the 7th, right? Yep, here it is. Stretch the screen. So you can see at the very bottom right here, that's an article I put up. Right there it says Atlas, he is in class. I'm home. So I get out at work at 3. Nothing about bringing up an article. So, yeah, just gonna leave that right there for everyone. I'll let y'all interpret what that means. Other than that, yeah, we're pretty much done here. I'll thank y'all for watching this because we did not get to the second or third articles, but this was entertaining. If you guys got anything you want to input, y'all too much. Yeah, I did not want this to go this way, Brown one, but it's whatever. I gotta leave out in 50 minutes anyway. Oh well, it's WrestleMania season, so I guess I get to watch WrestleMania now. So I'm out of here. All right, gates full open. I guess I gotta close them.